How did a woman over 50 get on one of the biggest launches of the year? This is POV from my point of view. An insider of POV Beauty. I'm a 30-year pro makeup artist. I'm 57 years old, and I am sick and tired of all the clickbait here on YouTube, all the lies, all the misinformation about Michaela. I want you to hear it from my side, and I would hope you'd stay and listen. You might be surprised. So I woke up to this yesterday morning and I was so shocked because I already have POV, but this is going to be well loved and well used. Here's my set I've been using for almost 5 weeks now. Michaela sent it to me back in February. I used it a whole week before we did the photo shoot, and I will tell you, I have used it under liquid foundation, cream foundation, cushion foundation, and various skin tints, drugstore and luxury. Every makeup I've done for 5 weeks has been just seamless. It's been beautiful. This skin prep was 2 years in the making, hundreds of iterations to get it right so that it would look beautiful under every formula of makeup, which is not easy. We've all done different skincares where you just change one little thing and you're getting balling up. So this was a labor of love for 2 years. It has been developed in Korea, South Korea lab. She's gone there just to work with them as well. This is not necessarily white labeled. Someone had said that. She has had say in the formulation. Like I said, lots of iterations so that it all layered beautifully under makeup. The point of this is that it's the perfect skin prep under your makeup. After all, she's a makeup artist, right? So, I put it to the test and loved it right away. So I'm going to show you some steps and then I'm going to tell you how I even got involved in POV. So my favorite product is Drench It. Now my face is a little dry right now because I washed it probably 30 minutes ago. Then I had to eat. Okay, so that's just, I like to keep a little atomizer on hand. That's Evian. It doesn't matter what you use, but I like a mister. Okay, so now my face is nice and moist. I'm going to go in with Drench It. Now, this is all sold out. This all sold out. I do a couple shakes. I don't know if you can see that puddle. This sold out within a couple hours. The bundles did, the whole set. And you could buy individual pieces, and that lasted through part of the day. But the whole thing sold out. So I'm not going to really talk much about product or ingredients right now just because it's sold out. You can't get it. But I do want to talk about the point of view as a brand and my involvement with it. This is Drip It. So I see how I have Drench It on and it's really nice and slick, juicy, plumping. It's double fermented. I'm now going to go in with Drip It, but I like to give it maybe 20, 30 seconds. And she even sent us a fan, but I don't know if it's hooked up yet. Let me see if this little Huda Beauty one works. Okay, this is Drip It, and this is the serum. This is like Michaela's favorite, and a lot of the younger girls that I was at the photo shoot with, they all love Drip It. Drip It's great. She designed it so it dispenses the exact amount you need, which I like. It's the perfect amount. One dropper is the perfect amount. And don't forget to then take what's left, just take it down your neck. You can even do the back of the hands. It's the perfect amount. Okay, we're gonna let that absorb in for a minute, but you can already see how juicy that is. Okay, I started following Michaela in spring of 2020 when we were all quarantined, and my daughter and I, she was I think 8th or 9th grade at the time. We had been watching an app called Musical.ly. It had changed to TikTok, and it became the funniest place. We couldn't wait to go, and we didn't even watch TV. We were on TikTok all day. It was so funny back then. And Michaela was this young girl, early 20s, and she was working at Ulta, but she was living in her parents' house still, and she had her own bedroom, and she would do these videos where she would go from like a girl with some pimples and maybe some troubled skin, And then she would do these transitions and she would be like full beat, you know, like cut crease and huge lashes. And it was just like, wow, it was visually beautiful. And she grew. I remember when she hit 1 million, like she just kept climbing and climbing. And then she started selling brands out. And it was just a phenomenon that no one had really seen before. Oh, I just lost the, look at this. I love this. Sorry, I forgot I'm supposed to be doing makeup. Anyway, the whole production crew was top notch. Now remember, I've worked in production since 2003. So I know what it's like to work with directors and sound people and lighting and, you know, producers. I know what it's like to work with a whole crew. This crew was top notch. And they were lovely and they made us feel so special. And then I met her POV team and her point of view team. They were lovely. And I always watch because there's a lot of ageism in social media. And if you're younger, that might not make sense to you right now. But if you're older, there is ageism. And I've just recently found out that ageism is actually built into the algorithm. So it's almost like we're set up to not do as well as the younger people, which is so frustrating and a topic for another time. But I watched her team and I watched like, oh, are they going to treat me the same as they treat the young influencers? And they did. They were absolutely lovely to me. I loved her management. Haley was so lovely. And just, we talked about her dog and, you know, just real talk, you know, and Michaela was so lovely and we had so much fun all together. And the coolest thing was after we had done our big group shot and we're all kind of dressed up and we're more glam, we're all standing around the monitor looking at everything and she looks over to me and she's like, are you happy with how you look? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's always hard to see myself on camera. It's different sitting home and just talking into your phone, but you know, it's kind of tricky being on camera, but yeah, it looks great. Everyone looks great. She's like, okay, I want to make sure you're happy with how you look. She didn't ask anyone else that. Like she cares. She's just so genuine. And she's an empath. Like she feels people around her. She's just the coolest chick. She's the coolest chick. And I'm so happy too, because I would have been so disappointed if she wasn't. I don't even know what this is. This is Hoola Benefit Bronzer and I don't see it doing a thing. Maybe it's a foundation. Huh. I thought this was supposed to be a bronzer, but I think this might be a foundation. Oh well, I'll have to research this and get back to you all on this one. So that is my story. I have used this skincare for 5 weeks. It is beautiful under everything. By the way, this is Lisa Eldridge today. It's even beautiful under heavy makeup. Of course, you know, I always use my Vaseline, which I forgot to use today, but I always still use a little bit of that through here and here because I do have mature texture. But the whole experience was great. I can't say enough wonderful things about Michaela and giving me this opportunity because I'm out there representing everyone over 50. Over 40 even, you know, like that's what I've been working 5 years for, is to just help as many women as I can. And the algorithm is just not always kind to those of us over 50. The young people get all the attention. And I find from my analytics that our demographic actually prefers watching Michaela. And that's fine. She's young and beautiful and she knows so much about so many products. But it's hard when you see that your own demographic is actually following the young, beautiful women and not actually yourself or your own demographic. That's hard. That's really defeating. So I love POV. I'm so excited for the future of POV. You will see more of me. We just did a huge billboard in Times Square. And I wanted to tell my beautiful experience because, one, God opened this door, so he gets all the credit. He fully opened this door. I wasn't going to go to New York. I never imagined meeting Michaela in person, and it led to me representing mature women for her point of view. It's been a crazy 2025. I've never been busier. I'm having so much fun. And she's just a down-to-earth, lovely person, and so is everyone in her life, okay? And that is just who she is. I see so much trash talk on her, especially on YouTube, because people want clicks. It's all clickbait. And I'm telling you, she's the real deal. The whole Lashgate thing that happened, I watched it. I remember exactly when it happened. And I'm not here to defend her or not defend her, but I'm here to tell you she was probably 24 at the time. Okay, can we all cut her some slack? My gosh, 24. What did you do at 24? What if something you did at 24, we lord that over you the rest of your life? What about some mistake you made in your mid-20s and we still throw that right back in your face and tell you you're a horrible person the rest of your life? Can we all move on? I don't know if she had fake lashes on or not, okay? I only know my experience with her and the fact that she had such a warm, genuine, professional team all around her. That to me speaks volumes of who someone's character is. Every person of character, read the Bible. Moses, King David was a man after God's own heart, and he slept with Bathsheba, a married woman, and then had Uriah, her husband, killed. And that was a man after God's own heart. Look at Peter, always putting his foot in his mouth, denied Jesus 3 times. Look at the huge, huge mistakes people have made through history who were good people with good character, but they make a mistake. And we're going to be defined our whole life off of one mistake we make when we're 24. Shame on everybody here on YouTube that uses Michaela and her POV for clickbait. I'm sick of it. I won't entertain it. I don't follow any of those people, and I'm suggesting you don't either. Don't buy into the drama. These people are just nasty, and nasty begets nasty. They all attract each other, and I won't have any part of it. And so I wanted to tell my story that she is just so lovely. She's so lovely. I know God would not have brought me into her life and into her brand if she was the horrid person or the liar that everyone claims her to be. Stop. And the fact that she's excited about every product she picks up, yeah, me too. That's why we're in this business. We are easily excited about product. We love it. My mom, God rest her soul, would have died 1,000 deaths the day she knew that I got my first Estee Lauder PR in the mail. Like, we were product junkies growing up. I remember my first Oil of Olay bottle, and it was glass, and I still remember the smell and the silky texture and holding that cold glass in my hand. That's when it started. I love product. Michaela loves product. Many people on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, those of us who are content creators who do this 5-6 days a week, we love product. We get so excited about what's next, what's new, what's the latest technology. So it's not that we're being dishonest. It's just that we love makeup and skincare. We just love it. Sorry, that's just what we do. We love it. And if we don't like something, we'll tell you. Or I personally don't talk about things I don't like because I don't want to bring negative attention to the brand, because I like these brands. I don't like a lot of Supergoop sunscreen. I don't reach for it, but they sent me this tinted and it's really nice. I don't love everything from every brand. I'm sure Michaela could have some things down the line where I'm like, not your best, but that's okay because I still have your skin prep. So stay tuned. There's a real exciting future for POV. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the outpouring of people telling me thank you and how excited you are that you got to see a woman over 40 on a billboard in Times Square. That means the world to me, because it means that you are actually on this journey with me to knock down the doors over 50 and have a place at the table and tell people that we have value. We are worthy. We've lived life, but there's so much ageism in this business, and it's really, really hard. It's really discouraging. I mean, look at even Angie Hot and Flashy. I know she's over 1 million, but that took 10 years. Meanwhile, a young person can go viral and be at 1 million in 1 year. I've only grown 20,000 followers in 2 years on TikTok. That's it. 20,000 followers in 2 years on TikTok. I know people that sneeze and wake up the next morning to 100,000 new followers. So there's definitely ageism going on in the algorithm. And I don't know how to reconcile that right now, but I do know how to thank you, those of you who support those of us out here trying to pave the way. I really appreciate your support. And even if you don't have money to buy a product, and that's okay. What do I always say? Only if you need it. And POV's sold out right now anyway. But she put a little spatula. But look at this. You can hide the spatula or open it for the spatula. It's a great design. This is Whip It. This is the moisturizer. I take about this much. Okay, so anyway, I've followed Michaela for a long time. I would say Michaela probably started following me maybe in 2022, 2023. I don't really remember exactly when she started following me, but I was on TikTok for a while. And I would also do transition videos and just, talk to mature women, like really try to help mature women with their skin because that is my passion in life. And she started following me and she had an eating disorder, and that really drew me to her because I had an eating disorder in my 30s and it was just a really hard time. And we didn't have really social media back then. And well, we definitely didn't have social media in the 90s. And we didn't even have enough on Google to even really dive into like, what is this eating disorder I have? So it just drew me to her. And sometimes we would DM back and forth. And anyway, you all know I got into the Ulta Beauty Collective in June. And I went on the June trip and it was really fun, but it was very influencer. And I just felt like a fish out of water. I'm the oldest person on the Ulta Beauty Collective. Everyone is so kind. Everyone at Ulta, everyone on the Ulta Beauty Collective, everyone is so kind. But when you're the oldest and you're not an influencer, you're a pro makeup artist, you just feel a little out of place. This is Amp It. This is her extremely hydrating lip product. It's thick but not sticky, and sometimes I just use it with a lip liner. So Ulta had another trip planned. I gotta wait for Glaze It. Ulta had another trip planned in November, and I wasn't gonna go on it. I just thought, I love New York and I love Ulta, but I just feel so out of place. Like, I'm not an influencer. I'm a makeup artist, and I just feel out of place. And my friend Leah said, no, I think you're supposed to go. And I'm like, really? So I asked a few people to, pray for me. And I did the big Ulta Beauty Zoom, and they talked a lot about the itinerary, and we were all going to be on one bus because in LA we were on all these different shuttles. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. Well, I'm so glad I did because I got to meet Michaela in person. We were at a Estee Lauder Christmas party. It was our final night. And I turn around and she's standing right behind me, and she looks at me and she's like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to meet you. And I'm like, girl, who are you talking to? She's like, I'm fangirling right now. I've always wanted to meet you, Michelle. And I'm like, wow. Well, I've always wanted to meet you, Michaela. I've followed you ever since, blah, blah, blah. And I talked about her videos, and I knew all about her life growing up and her eating disorder and blah, blah. And we just connected as like two people. We were really locked into each other. People would come up and try to interrupt us, but we just had a great conversation, and it got cut kind of short because everyone there wanted to take pictures with her, and I didn't want to steal that from her. So, I said, okay, well, maybe we'll talk later. And I stepped away, but we had a good conversation, and I could tell from the conversation, she was a humble person. Like, she was genuine and humble, and there was not a false humility. I have a pretty darn good, at 57 years old, I have a pretty good gut feeling about someone, and I just really liked her. Okay, this is Glaze It. So this is, by the way, this snaps back and forth, not the top. And I like about 2 pumps. And I'm not a huge primer fan, but this feels more like skincare than primer. However, as it starts to dry, it's going to be the tiniest bit tacky, and then we'll do some makeup over it, okay? We'll do light makeup today. So that's it. That's all of it. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. I love it. I've tried it under everything. Okay, so cut to 2 weeks later, I get a message from Michaela on Instagram saying, hey, can I have your email? And I had to make sure it was really her and not someone trying to scam me. And I said, sure. And then 2 weeks later, I got another email. Hey, Michelle, here's my team. We'd love to talk with you. And okay, well, what's going on here? And so we set up a Zoom in January, and Michaela was on it. I wasn't expecting Michaela to be on the Zoom. I don't know why. I just think she's busy and she's filming all the time. I know how busy I am. And I thought I was meeting with her team, and she was on it. And she's like, do you have any idea why I asked you to be on the Zoom today? And I'm like, no, I mean, like, are you collabing with someone and you just want to get some influencers involved and you want to, send us some products? Because, if it's Dunkin' Donuts, girl, I'm there. I am 100% supportive if you do a Dunkin's collab, and I will help you any way I can. And that's when she said, no, I'm starting my own brand. And she told me all about how she's starting with Skin Prep. Did you hear the loud motorcycle? She's starting with Skin Prep. She is, working with a lab in Korea. She knows I love Korean skincare. I mean, we all kind of do. And she said, we've done tons of iterations over the 2 years, and I've finally got it to a place where it's so beautiful under everything, and I'm so proud of it, and I really want you on board to represent the mature community. She's like, you should have a much bigger following than you do. You don't get enough attention. I was like, whoa. I mean, and she's just so genuine about it. And she's like, I want to give you that opportunity, and I want you to help mature women. And my mom is in her, 60s, and, she's not going to watch someone like me. She's going to watch someone like you. And I want you to really, help mature women, which is what I did when we did the photo shoot in February. I did a whole, mature makeup video, and it lives on her website right now. So then we flew to New York. She sent me the skincare. I tried it all. I absolutely loved it. I tried the skincare before I signed a contract, just so you all know. And the photo shoot was so good. The production team, the cameraman, the director, hold on. Just write it down if you can't afford it, but you are, what's more important to me than commission from you, or you buying a product, what's more important to me? Engagement. Liking, commenting, sharing, telling your family and friends. That means more to me than dollar signs. Because at the end of the day, that all boils down to dollar signs, and that's how I make my living. I don't know how many of you know this, but I'm the sole provider for my family. My daughter's going to college in August. My husband got laid off from several jobs, and because he's 59, he cannot find work. He does some freelance stuff at home. He goes out and works in a little wine store for fun and to have a social life, but he hasn't had a career job in several years. It's all me. And that's scary. And so your support means the world to me. Okay. So that's my POV story. I hope that helps. If any of you were on the fence about Michaela or POV, or you bought into all the clickbait here on YouTube, I just wanted to settle the record and tell you they're all lies. It's all for clickbait. She's the real deal, and her product is beautiful. I can't wait till they relaunch. They'll have more product coming back in April, okay? Leave your comments, leave your questions. Even if you have valid concerns, I'd love to hear. And she's not paying me to do this. They're sold out of product. They're like, don't do any paid campaigns. We're not doing that until April. And it wouldn't be on YouTube anyway. It would be TikTok and Reels. So anything I talk about on YouTube is my time. And I'm glad you're here. I love you. God loves you. And I'll see you next week.